Today I'm going to show you how to make some easy game day chicken teriyaki wings, so stick around. Teriyaki means glossy grilled in Japanese. And although it's easy to make in a frying pan for boneless cuts of chicken, the method doesn't quite work with wings. That's why I've come up with a braise and bake method, which also lets you do most of the work in advance.
By braising the wings, you end up with tender, juicy chicken that's seasoned to the core, and it also renders out most of the fat from the skin. Then they're finished off in a hot oven and glazed with the braising liquid for a lip gloss sheen.
Sounds good, right? Let's start with a look at our ingredients.
The first thing you're gonna need is a kilogram of chicken wings. I'm using a mix of wingettes and drumettes. I've also got a third cup of sugar, a third cup of sake, a third cup of soy sauce, a small knob of ginger, and 2 cloves of garlic. To garnish the wings, I'm going to be using some toasted sesame seeds and chopped scallions. To get started, I'm going to slice the ginger up into coins. This will help release their flavor into the teriyaki sauce. Okay, let's get these into a pot, and then I'm gonna smash the garlic and peel them. I'm using the side of a knife, but be careful not to cut yourself. The skin should fall right off, and the smashed garlic is gonna quickly infuse our sauce. These go into the pot as well, and then I'm gonna arrange the chicken wings into the pot so there isn't much of a gap between each piece. By packing them in like this, it helps ensure that the wings are mostly submerged by the sauce ingredients. Okay, once the chicken is nice and snug, I'm gonna add the sugar, sake, and soy sauce. Then I'm gonna bring this over to the stove and turn it on to high heat.
Before we cook these up, I want to thank Tipsy for sponsoring this video. A decade ago, when I lived in the US, it was almost impossible to find a good selection of quality sake there. But Tipsy fixes that. Beyond their huge selection of sake, they also have these fantastic seasonal sake boxes that come with a selection of 6 bottles from around Japan. Each bottle comes with a card explaining everything you need to know about the sake and where it's from. And the variety ensures that you can find one to pair with whatever you're cooking that night. I'll include a link in the description down below, so check them out. And for the next month, you can use coupon code NORECIPES to get $20 off your first sake box.
Now we want to bring this up to a boil. Sake is added to teriyaki sauce for flavor and umami, and the alcohol burns off as it cooks, so you don't need to worry about getting drunk off these wings. Once it reaches a full boil, I'm going to cover the pot with a lid and turn down the heat to maintain a full simmer. Now we're just going to let the wings braise in the teriyaki sauce for about 15 minutes. This is a good time to start preheating the oven to 430 degrees Fahrenheit or 220 Celsius. When the wings are ready, they should end up looking something like this. And let me tell ya, they smell incredible. You may even be tempted to dig in, but hold your horses because they're about to get even better. I'm gonna transfer the wings to a wire rack that's been set on top of a sheet pan. I usually line the pan with foil to make cleanup a bit easier, but this is totally optional. When you line the wings up, try and get the side with the most skin facing up so it browns nicely. If you're making these ahead of time, let these cool to room temperature and then store them in the fridge. Otherwise, you can pop them into the oven right away. To make our teriyaki glaze, I'm going to strain the braising liquid into another pot, and then I'm gonna bring this over to the stove and turn it on to high heat. As you can see, the chicken wings have rendered out a ton of fat, so I think I'm gonna skim some of this off. If you're making this ahead of time, you can refrigerate this once, which will solidify the fat, making it a lot easier to remove. Now we're just gonna let the sauce boil to reduce it. As it thickens, the bubbles will get bigger and glossier, so be sure to keep an eye on it so it doesn't boil over. When the sauce is nice and thick like this, it's good to go. Okay, our wings are a beautiful deep brown, and they're just starting to char around the edges, so let's get them out of the oven. Now I'm gonna glaze them with our teriyaki sauce. And just look at how glossy they are. If you don't have a pastry brush, you can also just spoon the glaze over the wings. To plate these up, I'm gonna get some lettuce onto a plate, and then I'm gonna stack the wings up. Gorgeous, aren't they? To finish this off, I'm gonna hit them with a sprinkle of toasted sesame seeds, scatter some chopped scallions on top, and our teriyaki chicken wings are done.
Oh man, look at that glaze, it's so shiny. Itadakimasu. Oh, the inside is juicy and tender, and on the outside, we rendered out a lot of that fat when we braised it on the stove. You get a little bit of ginger and garlic in there, which is a really nice combination with that sweet and savory teriyaki sauce. But you know what would make this even better? A little bit of sake. I think I'm gonna go with the Nambu Bijin here. This one's from Iwate Prefecture, and it's a Tokubetsu Junmai. All right, let's pour a little bit in here. Ooh, that smells great. That's delicious. All right, going for another bite here. It's a beautiful combo. I hope you get a chance to try it out. If you want to pick up a bottle of that Nambu Bijin, or you just want to learn more about sake, head over to Tipsy's website using the link in the description. As always, let me know you enjoyed this video by hitting that like button. And if you really want to help me out, please share this with all your friends that could use a good wing recipe. All right, I think I'm gonna go have a few more of these, but be sure to check out this playlist for more entertaining ideas, and I'll catch you in the next one.